Hello all, welcome to fourth lecture of Fundamentals of Power Electronics. Outlines of today's session are two transistor analogy of SCR, anode current explanation and SCR mounting. So in previous lecture we have studied about the meaning of thyristor, the thyristor family devices and how their devices are differ from each other. In that the most commonly used device was SCR. So in previous lecture we also studied about the SCR. So abbreviation of SCR is silicon controlled rectifier. That is the material used for the construction of this device is silicon semiconductor device, and application of SCR is rectification, but here the rectification is of controlled rectification. So this semiconductor device is called as silicon controlled rectifier. So here I want to repeat that meaning of thyristor, or the thyristor is also same as a SCR and SCR is also same as thyristor. So whenever we represent a thyristor in any sentence, then it directly indicates that was the SCR only. So both thyristor and SCR same only. So also we have studied the construction working of SCR and VI characteristics of SCR. So while studying the working, I have explained that the SCR has three terminals, that is anode, cathode and gate terminal, and it has a 4 layers. So when 4 layers were sandwiched, it forms 3 junctions, J1, J2 and J3. So here whenever SCR is used for any application purpose or when it is need to be turned on, it should be a forward biased, and when anode to cathode is made forward biased, the J1 and J3 becomes forward biased and J2 is a reverse biased here. So to make J2 as a forward, we need to give the supply to gate terminal. Therefore the SCR gate terminal is called as a control terminal of SCR. And how the gate has control on SCR can be explained by using two transistor analogy here. So SCR's gate terminal is called as a control terminal. That is, it has control on the operation of SCR. And once the SCR turns on, and if we remove the gate terminal, then also SCR remains in a conduction period. So that all can be explained here by using two transistor analogy. So basically two transistor analogy means constructionally we can observe SCR has a 4 layers. In these 4 layers, the middle 2 layers, the middle N and middle P. So both the layers are equally divided, then we'll get a 2 transistors, that is PNP and NPN. So outer P layer is taken as it is, outer N layer is also taken as it is, and middle both the layers were divided equally. So it forms PNP transistor and NPN transistor. So outer P layer has anode terminal. So here also this P layer has a anode terminal. Outer N layer has cathode terminal. So here also in two transistor analogy also we are having outer N layer cathode terminal, and middle layers, in that the middle P layer has a gate terminal. So same this P layer has gate terminals here. So whenever here we observe the outer P layer and middle N layer, it forms a J1 junction. So same here, this P layer and this N layer, when combining it forms a J1 junction. Next middle N layer and middle P layer forms J2 junction. So same this N layer and P layer forms a J2 junction. So next the N and P layer has J2. Next this P layer and N layer has a J3 junction. So same the P layer and outer N layer forms a J3 junctions here. So one SCR can be divided into two transistors. They are PNP and NPN transistor. So the gate is connected to inner P layer. And also here construction we can observe that the base of first is connected to the collector terminal of second transistor, and collector terminal of first transistor is connected to the base of second transistor. So though these both terminals are internally connected to each other. So here we can observe two transistor circuit. So this layer diagram symbolically represented by using a two transistor, as this is the first transistor Q1, that is PNP transistor, and second transistor is NPN transistor. So this layer diagram can be derived by using a symbolical representation, as see here the outer P layer has terminal called as a anode terminal, but here in a anode terminal current is entering into the layer. So whenever in transistor if we represent a current terminal, then that current terminal will be called as a emitter terminal. So in a transistor, emitter is representing a current direction. Next, base is middle layer, that is a base terminal, and the remaining third terminal is called as a collector terminal. So if we observe layer diagram, the outer P layer has anode terminal, and through the anode terminal, anode current is entering into the SCR or the first transistor. So this anode terminal is same as the emitter terminal of first transistor, and as the transistor is PNP transistor, so arrow mark indicates inward direction here. So this is the anode terminal or emitter terminal of first transistor, and as the transistor is PNP, so arrow indicates inward direction. Next is base layer. So first is anode and the middle one is base layer. So this terminal is base terminal, and next is the collector terminal. So this third terminal is collector terminal. But in layer diagram we can observe that this layer has gate terminal connection. So same here, this is a collector terminal, and see here layer is connected to the gate. So the same terminal is again connected to the gate terminal, that is represented by current direction as a IG. Next, while drawing a second transistor, so same here we are considering, see this is the second layer diagram of second transistor here. So in this, the middle, this orange color P layer represents a base. So this orange color P layer represents a base terminal. This outer N layer represents cathode terminal, or here current direction is outward direction. So this cathode terminal is same as a emitter terminal of this second transistor, and this upper N layer represents the collector terminal here. So first here we can observe that the first transistor base terminal and second transistor collector terminal both are same here. So already here we first studied about the first transistor, that is this is the anode terminal or emitter terminal of first transistor, this is the base terminal, and this is a collector terminal of first transistor, but the collector terminal is same as gate terminal. So collector terminal has a gate connection here. Next, the first transistor base is connected to the collector terminal of second transistor. So this is represents the second transistor. So the base of this base is connected to the second transistor collector terminal. So this base is connected to the second transistor collector terminal. Next, collector terminal of first transistor is connected to the collector terminal of first transistor is connected to the base terminal of second transistor. So this is the collector terminal and this is the base terminal of second transistor. So these two terminals are internally connected. So this is the connection. And next, last, the current from the SCR goes out through the cathode terminal. So here cathode terminal represents the emitter terminal of second transistor, and second transistor is a NPN transistor. So arrow mark of the second transistor emitter terminal represents outward direction, and this terminal is same as cathode terminal or emitter terminal of second transistor. So in a transistor symbolical representation, we can observe that base terminal of one transistor is same as collector terminal of second transistor. Similarly, collector terminal of first transistor is same as a base terminal of second transistor. And also in layer construction we can observe the second transistor base and first transistor collector both are same, and this layer is connected to the gate terminal. So same here, the base of second transistor and collector of first transistor both are same, and this connection is again connected to the gate terminal. So this is anode, this is gate, and this is cathode. But anode terminal is same as emitter terminal of first transistor, and here cathode terminal is same as emitter terminal of second transistor, because anode terminal is current, this is a terminal through which anode current entering into the transistor, so it is a emitter terminal, and this cathode terminal is through which the cathode current is coming out from the SCR, therefore it is a emitter terminal of second transistor. And from this two transistor method, here we can also observe that the base current of first transistor is same as collector current of second transistor, and the collector current of first transistor is same as base current of second transistor, and to which the gate is connected. So this is the two transistor circuit connection of SCR. So the single SCR has 4 layers. In that 4 layers, middle 2 layers were equally divided. So by dividing middle 2 layers, we can generate 2 transistors, PNP and NPN. So the outer P layer has anode connection. So through the anode connection, anode terminal current is entering. Therefore that terminal is a emitter terminal. But the first transistor is PNP transistor. So in a PNP, current direction represents inward direction on emitter terminal. But this emitter terminal is same as anode terminal of first transistor. Next, middle layer has a base. So this middle layer is a base terminal, and outer P layer, this inner divided P layer is a collector terminal. But this collector terminal is connected to the gate. So this collector is connected to the gate terminal. Next, second is a NPN transistor, and here we can observe that the cathode, through the cathode terminal, current of the SCR is coming out. So it is the emitter terminal of second transistor, but the second transistor is NPN transistor. So arrow on emitter terminal represents outward direction, and this emitter current is same as cathode current, and here the emitter current of first transistor is same as a anode current. Next, the base of first transistor is same as collector terminal of second transistor, and similarly the collector terminal of first transistor is same as base terminal of second transistor. So these two terminals are internally connected here. Next is anode current equation of SCR. So from this representation we can see the single SCR is divided in two transistors, and the collector current of any transistor is given as IC is equals to alpha IE plus ICBO. So this is the standard collector current equation. So in that the IC represents collector current. So collector current of any transistor. Alpha is a collector emitter current gain. Next, IE is emitter current, and ICBO is current base junction leakage current. That is, whenever the supply or whenever the junction, collector base junction is forward biased, before turning on the transistor there is a flow of small current that is practically not available, but that current is generated at the collector base junction. So that current is called as a leakage current. So basically this current is negligible for practical applications. So this is the collector current of any transistor. So same equation if we applied for both the transistor, then we get a two collector currents. So collector current for Q1 is IC1. So collector current of the first transistor is represented by IC1, which is equals to, see, the collector current is given as IC is equals to alpha IE plus ICBO. So this equation is applicable for the, we are applying for the first transistor. So here we are taking all the first transistor parameters, that is Q1 is a first transistor which is connected, which has a collector current as IC1, that is equals to alpha 1. So anode current IE is same as anode current. So directly here I am taking in place of IE1 as a IA plus leakage current ICBO1. Next, the collector current for second transistor is, that is Q2 is IC2 is equals to alpha 2 IK. So here the in a circuit diagram we can observe that IE2 is same as IK. Therefore in equation I am directly considering IE2 as a IK plus ICBO. So these are two collector currents of transistor 1 and transistor 2. So from the equivalent circuit we have a current relations. See, alpha IA is equals to IE1. Next IE2 is equals to IK, that is IE2 is equals to IK, because the cathode current is same as emitter current of second transistor, and here anode current is same as emitter current of first transistor. Next IB1 is equals to IC2. So this is IB1 which is equals to IC2 because the base of first transistor is same as collector terminal of second transistor. And next is IC1 is equals to IB2, that is collector terminal of first transistor is same as base terminal of second transistor. Therefore IC1 is equals to IB2. So the next equation is, see, from the relation we can observe that the anode current is entering through the emitter terminal of first transistor, but that same current is dividing in two paths, that is from this the anode current is entering, and that anode current is divided in two paths, that is through this base direction and through this collector direction, that is, so this anode current is entering in this direction and this same anode current gets dividing in through this direction and also through this direction. Therefore here the anode current is given as IC1 plus IC2, that is the collector current of first transistor and collector current of second transistor, and again these two collector currents, so this IC1 and this IC2 again combining together in a second transistor, and through collector current it is coming in a outward direction here. So the IA can be written as, see, IA can be written as IC1 plus IC2, but already we have a equations for IC1 and IC2 as, so these are the two equations, equation 1 and equation A and equation B already we have derived for transistor 1 and transistor 2 as IC1 and IC2. So by substituting equations A and B in this equation, we'll get IA is equals to IC1 plus IC2. So here we are getting IA is equals to alpha IA plus ICBO1 and alpha 2 IK plus ICBO2. Here alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the current gain of transistors. ICBO1 and ICBO2 are the collector base junction leakage current which is available at the junction during blocking mode of the transistor due to supply. Next, so this is the anode current when gate is, so if we made gate as a 0, then this is the anode current we are getting, because if gate is 0 we are giving a supply anode current, but that anode current is flowing only in this direction, that is getting divided in. So this is the anode current when gate current is 0, and if gate is applied, so this gate current is also flowing into the base current of Q2 here. So this current gets adding into anode current. So before applying the gate current, that is when gate current is 0, so only anode current is flowing here. That is, this anode current is getting divided into IC2 and IC1, and this IC1 and IC2 combinedly coming out of both the transistor as a cathode current. So when anode current is entering into both the transistors, the outcoming current of both the transistor is cathode current. In this condition, if we apply gate current, then this gate current gets adding into this anode current. That is, cathode current changes as cathode current becomes IK is equals to IA plus IG. So before adding a gate current, the anode current or cathode current is same as IC1 is IC1 plus IC2, and if we add a gate current, this gate current gets added into anode current, and these both the currents gets combined, and from the two AC transistors the cathode current coming out, and that cathode current is IK is equals to IA plus IC. Therefore the above equation becomes IA is equals to alpha 1 IA ICBO1 alpha 2. So IA becomes IA plus IG, that is IA plus IG plus ICBO. So if we simplify this equation as a IA, so here also we are having IA and here also we are having IA. So in these two terms, if we take single IA as a common, and if this equation is simplified, then we will get the final anode current equation as IA is equals to alpha 2 IG plus ICBO1 plus ICBO2 divided by 1 minus alpha 1 plus alpha 2. So here alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the current gains of both the transistor. So suppose if alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is too low, then this denominator will be high, and if the denominator is high, then anode current will be low, because these both are inversely proportional here. So alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is too low, then denominator is high, and this high denominator makes anode current as a low. So that condition of a SCR is called as a forward blocking state, or that is a forward off state. So SCR is in at a off condition. If alpha 1 and alpha 2 is made positive or it is made unity, then this numerator becomes numerator decreases, and as the numerator decreases, this anode current increases, and if the anode current increases and reaches above the latching current, then the SCR turns on here. So this is the anode current equation of SCR here, and this equation can be derived by using two transistor method. So here by using two transistor method, we can also explain that gate has control only to turn on the SCR, and once the SCR turns on, and if we remove the gate terminal, that means if we make gate current as a 0, then also SCR remains in a conduction state. So that is explained by using this two transistor method. So if we consider SCR is made forward biased from anode to cathode, so that is this transistor is forward biased and this transistor is also forward biased, and if gate is made 0, so if gate is made 0, then this gate terminal is connected to the base of second transistor, that is gate current is 0, then base current of second transistor is 0. So if base current is 0, then this transistor Q2 will remains in a off condition. Then there is no any flow of current. So if current is not flowing through Q2, that is if IC2 is not flowing, then Q1 base is not getting any current. So here this base current is 0, then Q1 is also remains in a off state. That is, if we make initially if gate current is 0, this case gate current makes base current of second transistor 0, due to which second transistor remains in off condition. As the second transistor is in off condition, there is no any flow of second transistor's current, but here we can observe that second transistor collector current is same as base current of first transistor here. So this IC is 0, this IC makes base current of second transistor as a 0. So as the base is not getting any current, therefore this first transistor also remains in a off condition. Therefore to make SCR to turn on, gate supplies need to be applied. So suppose if we apply gate current, then the current flows into this direction. That is, base of second transistor gets the supply and this transistor turns on. When Q2 turns on, its collector current flows and also emitter current flows here. So collector current of second transistor is same as base current of first transistor. So as the base is getting supply, the first transistor also turns on here. So by applying gate current, the base of second transistor is flowing, which is making second transistor to turn on, due to which the collector current of second transistor flows, and this collector current of second transistor is same as base current of first transistor. Therefore the first transistor also turns on. Once the first transistor turns on, its collector current starts flowing, and this collector current is same as a base current of second transistor. So here by applying a gate current, here we are making both the transistor to turns on, and once these two transistor turns on, their collector currents are flowing to each other. At this condition, if we make a gate current as a 0, that is if we switch off the gate supply, then also the collector current of both the transistors supplies the current to base of both the transistor. So internally collector current flowing into base of both the transistors here, and these two transistors remains in on condition. Therefore anode to cathode current flows. So this indicates that the gate is used to turn on the SCR, and once the SCR turns on, and if we make gate current as a 0, or if we switch off the supply, then also SCR remains in a conduction state. That is, gate has control only to turn on the SCR, and to make the SCR to turn off, we need to make anode to cathode reverse biased, or we need to remove the supply from anode to cathode. So here we are using gate only for the turning on of a SCR. So whenever practically SCR is used for the application purpose, the gate terminal is used for the turning on, and to turn off the conducting SCR, we need to make supply to turns off here. So by the two transistor analogy, we can conclude that the gate has control on turning period of a SCR, and without a gate supply we cannot make the SCR to turn on. And once the SCR turns on, if gate supply is switched off, then also SCR remains in a conduction period. Next is SCR mounting techniques. So SCR mounting technique means whenever for any practical applications, if we are using any SCR, then SCR is connected in a different types based on the current rating of that particular application here. And whenever SCR is mounted, or whenever SCR is used, it is mounted on a heat sink here. So heat sink means it is a device on which semiconductor diodes devices are placed, and this heat sink is used, or this heat sink dissipates the heat from the device to atmosphere, and it maintains the operating temperature of that particular device. So here we are going to study some SCR mounting techniques. So SCR mounting means we are fixing the SCR for different current rating applications. In that, some of the types are lead mounting, stud mounting and bolt down mounting. That first is a lead mounting. So this is the structural representation of lead mounting. So this lead mounting is generally used to fix on the PCB. So this type of mounting technique is used on a PCB construction. So lead mounting means the terminals anode, cathode and gate terminal of SCR is fixed on PCB, and from the back side it is soldering, so it gets fixed on the PCB. So this type of mounting technique is used for whenever the current is very small. For small current applications or whenever current rating is very low, then the lead mounting techniques are used. So this method is used when load current is so small, the SCR does not require a cooling. So in such cases, the SCR doesn't require any cooling technique because it is used generally for the small current applications. So as the current is very small, the heat generated is also very small, and that is automatically dissipated into atmosphere by the radiation or convection method. Next is bolt method. So this is the bolt method in which the SCR with the one hole construction is provided here, and this hole is fixed. So this hole is fixed on the board by the bolt connection, and also heat sink is used for such construction here, because such type of mountings are used for a high power application, that is for high current applications. This type of SCR connections are used. So as the current increases, the heat also increases, and that heat need to be absorbed by the heat sinks here. So for such connection we are using heat sink, and that heat sink connection is done by using this bolt connection. So such connection is called as a bolt mounting. Next is stud mounting. So stud mounting means, so there are two molybdenum plates kept on both the sides of SCR. So these are the plates which are kept on the SCR here. The anode is soldered with the aluminum, resulting one stud is created. The SCR is joined to heat sink by this stud. So this is the stud construction to which heat sink is used for the SCR connection here. And such a type of connections are used for very high power applications. So here, as the power rating is increased, the temperature or the current is increased here. Due to increase in current, temperature increases, and that heat need to be dissipated into the atmosphere. So for this, the heat sink connections are also used. So there are three types of mounting techniques we are using. The first one is lead mounting. So lead mounting is used for very low power applications. Second is bolt mounting. Bolt mounting is used for medium power applications, and stud mounting is used for high power applications. So in this session, totally we have studied about the two transistor method of SCR and anode current equation, and also the mounting techniques. So two transistor is used because to know whether gate has a control on turn on and turn off or not. So by studying the two transistor method, we can conclude that the gate terminal has only the control on turning on, and to turn off the SCR we need to make anode to cathode supply either reverse biased, or we need to remove the supply. And next is a mounting technique. So for any practical applications, suppose if we are using any SCR, then that SCR is need to be fixed here. So different power applications, the connection of SCR is different, that is lead mounting, bolt mounting and stud mounting. So lead mounting is for low power applications, bolt mounting is for medium power, that is moderate power applications, and stud Mounting is for high power applications. So this is all about today's session. Thank you.